Hello, I'm Mark Calloway and welcome to the first of our Revit Tutorials for Beginners series. In this first video we're going to simply go through the user interface. The aim of this series is for each video to be short, to the point, only taking a few minutes of your time. Here we have Revit 2023 and for most versions of Revit the user interface is pretty similar. Some of the older versions will start to look a little different, some of the coloring's changed a little bit, but the fundamentals are basically there. This is the home screen, this is what you're first presented with. We can see our recent files taking up most of the screen, and on the left hand side we have our main menu. On here we have access to opening an existing model, opening a new model, and we also have access to families, again open and new. Families being the stuff that you can populate your models with, such as furniture, duct fittings, all that sort of stuff, and the models being the actual projects themselves. I'm just going to hit the new button under models and we'll start a new blank project. But before we get into the project, Revit's going to ask us if we want to base this on a template. You can choose none. We do have some that come installed with Revit. I'm just going to select the architectural template for this example. It's a fairly good one to use, but you might want to think about creating your own templates at some point. I'm going to hit the OK button and Revit's going to take us inside our new project. So whilst we're waiting for this to load, we can already see the ribbon bar at the top of the screen. So I'm going to start from the top and just work my way down very quickly, keeping this brief and to the point. So we have our quick access toolbar right at the very top. You've got some common tools on here such as open and save, undo, which is very important. And some of the more useful ones you'll find is this little house icon for going to the default 3D view, because Revit is a 3D application. And this thin lines tool here, which will temporarily turn off the line weights in your view. Makes modelling a lot easier. As you can see, moving your mouse over any tool, a little tooltip will appear. You'll have a bit of text in there, maybe a picture, maybe even a video animation. And next to the name of the command at the top, in brackets, if there's a shortcut assigned, you'll see that in there too. Coming down from there, we have our main ribbon bar system. File is your main menu, essentially. And then the rest of it's divided up into these tabs. We have an architecture tab for our architectural tools, structures tab for our structures tools, steel, systems, and so on and so forth. The one that you're going to probably find yourself in the most is the modify tab. One of the features within Revit is when you go into a command or you select an element such as a wall or a door, Revit will automatically switch to the modify tab, assuming you want to do something with that element or command. Inside these tabs, tools are further broken down into groups. For example, on the modify tab we can see we've got a geometry group here. We're going to find all our geometry related tools. A modify group with all our modify tools in there, such as your move, your align, your copy tools. Some of these can be further expanded. You'll see these little black triangles throughout Revit, and clicking on those will expand the menu and give you further options. Below there we have three main areas. We have a properties window in the top left hand corner. We have a project browser in the bottom left hand corner, and we have our main view in the center. We can undock these windows and we can move them onto different screens should we wish. And you can even click the little X's in the corner to close those. And if you accidentally close these and you want to get them back, it's a simple task of going to the View tab, the User Interface button on the far right hand side, and whichever window you want to turn back on, just tick the button for that and it'll reappear. So the properties window is going to display the properties for whatever you've got selected, and if you have nothing selected, it will display the properties for the view you're currently looking at. You can see here that we're currently looking at level 0, and the property window is displaying the properties for that level. The project browser is our main way of navigating, so we can access all our views from in here. The setup can be customized, but we can see we have a category for floor plans, and level 0 is the view we're currently in. If I double click on level 1, it will open up the view for level 1. We can also access legends in here should you wish to create any legends. all your schedules and quantities, any sheets you've produced, any families that you've loaded into the project, whether they've been placed yet or not, any items you've grouped together, and any Revit models that you've linked in. There is additional categories, but they'll only appear when you create elements for those categories, such as a panel schedule, for example. Moving on to the main view, we have 2D views and we have 3D views. We're currently looking at a floor plan, which is a 2D view. Holding the middle mouse wheel down will allow me to pan the view, and scrolling the mouse wheel will allow me to zoom in and zoom out. If I go into a 3D view, which I can do through the project browser, we have the same controls there. I can pan, I can zoom, but if I hold down the shift button on my keyboard and the mouse wheel at the same time, I can rotate the 3D view. You might also notice in the top right hand corner, we have this view cube, and clicking on any face, edge or corner will reorientate the 3D view in that direction. At the bottom of your main 3D of the view that you've got open, whether it's a 2D or 3D view, we have some graphics tools down here, and these will affect the appearance of this specific view. We can change the scale of the view, we can change the detail level, which we'll go through on a different video. We can change the visual style, whether you want a wireframe, whether you want it to be shaded, whether you want realistic for textures. You got shadows. We can temporarily hide and isolate elements, helps with modelling in 3D views. We can reveal hidden elements, so when you start turning on and off stuff, you're not going to want to see any plants that you've placed in the corridor in your fire escape view. You can turn those elements off, but should you want to reveal those temporarily, we can access those through there. So that pretty much covers the bulk of the user interface. Next, we'll take a look at the basic commands within Revit, such as moving, copying, and all those simple things. So do check out the second video where we go through our basic commands. Thank you for watching.